In today's video, we are diving deep into one of the most debated topics in nutrition, plant protein versus animal protein, and specifically which is better for muscle growth. Now, to do justice to this subject, I've divided into two parts. In this video, part 1, we'll focus on muscle growth. In part 2, which will be out shortly, I'll explore the health impacts of choosing plant or animal proteins. You see, when you decide between plant protein and animal protein, you're not just choosing between types of protein, you're choosing foods: chicken, tofu, lentils, mutton, almonds. And these foods don't just contain protein, they also offer carbohydrates, fats, vitamins, minerals, fiber, antioxidants, and in some cases even probiotics. So as a holistic nutritionist, I believe in the concept of nutrient density, getting the most nourishment per calorie you consume. While protein is vital, we may also pay attention to the full nutritional profile of the food we eat. Now, I've noticed that the word protein has become a bit overrated. In fact, many people have become protein blind, chasing protein numbers at the cost of everything else. Yes, protein is essential, but so are fiber, minerals like zinc and iron, probiotics, phytonutrients, vitamins. Muscle growth is a complex biological process, not a one nutrient job. And that's why in part 2 of this series, we'll zoom out and look at which foods, plant or animal based, offer better overall nutrition. But for today, we'll stick to the question which is better for muscle building. And before we start, let me make one thing very clear. I'm not here to demonize animal protein. In fact, I believe in a plant-forward diet, a style of eating that emphasizes plants while allowing for some animal products if needed. It's not about exclusion, it's about intention. All right, let's get into it. When comparing plant and animal protein for muscle growth, we need to look at 3 metrics. First is the protein content in the food itself. Second, the amino acid profile, especially the essential amino acids. And third, which is the digestibility and bioavailability of those proteins. So let's begin with protein content. By dry weight, animal foods like chicken, fish, and mutton contain between 60 to 80% protein. That's a very high concentration. In contrast, legumes like dals and beans contain about 25% protein by weight. Whole grains like rice or wheat come in at about 10%. So yes, if we are purely comparing protein concentration, animal foods are the clear winner. You get more protein per gram, which means you can eat less and still hit your targets. So let's move on to the amino acid profile. A quick refresher: protein is made up of smaller building blocks called amino acids. There are 20 amino acids in total, and out of these, 9 are called essential amino acids because our body cannot produce them on their own. Among these essential ones, leucine, isoleucine, and valine, also known as branch chain amino acids or BCAAs, play a particularly important role in muscle growth. Now, leucine in particular has been extensively studied for its role in stimulating muscle protein synthesis by activating the mTOR pathway, which is a key driver in muscle building and repair. And here's where things get interesting. Plant-based sources like lentils, chickpeas, oats, and almonds are often seen as inferior when it comes to amino acids. But if you look closely, you'll find that their leucine content is actually quite impressive, comparable in some cases to whole milk or eggs. So let's take a 1500 calorie vegan meal plan consisting of lentils, oats, chapatis, almonds, chickpeas, and vegetables. Now, this kind of diet easily provides over 4.9 grams of leucine per day, far exceeding the requirement of around 2.7 grams of leucine for a 70 kilogram adult. Not only that, this diet also meets all the essential amino acid requirements when foods are combined intelligently throughout the day. This brings us to the third pillar: digestibility and bioavailability. So digestibility is essentially how well your body can break down and absorb the protein you consume. So over the years, several systems have been used to measure this, including the protein efficiency ratio, net protein utilization, biological value, and the PDCAS, which is the protein digestibility corrected amino acid score. But each of these had limitations. So in 2013, a new and improved system was introduced, DIAS, or the digestible indispensable amino acid score. Now, what makes DIAS unique is that it measures how well a protein behaves in real life meal conditions. For example, rice has a low DS score because it lacks lysine, but when you combine it with peas, which are rich in lysine, the overall DS score increases dramatically. Now, this is crucial because we don't eat isolated nutrients. We eat meals. We don't eat just dal all day. We eat it with roti, rice, nuts, seeds, vegetables, and maybe a scoop of protein powder. Our bodies are intelligent. They are more capable of pulling what they need from a variety of sources across the day, not just one meal. Also, you do not have to combine all essential amino acids in one meal. You can consume complementary foods throughout the day and still get the full spectrum your body needs. So let's address a common concern: anti-nutrients in plant-based foods. Yes, foods like legumes and whole grains contain compounds such as phytic acid and lectins, which can interfere with nutrient absorption. But the good news is that we have known for centuries how to deal with this. Simple techniques like soaking, sprouting, and cooking can significantly reduce these anti-nutrients. For example, soaking lentils for 6 to 12 hours or beans for 12 to 24 hours can break down a large portion of phytic acid. Sprouting further enhances nutrient absorption by making minerals more bioavailable. Cooking completely destroys lectins, and here's another useful tip: pairing phytic acid-rich foods with those high in vitamin C like tomatoes, bell peppers, or citrus fruits can greatly improve the absorption of iron and other minerals. I've explained this topic in greater depth in another video titled "Should You Eat Dal Every Day?" If it's not live yet, it will be up within the next week or so. So keep an eye out for that. Subscribe so that you get the notification when that video is out. So let's come back to the big question: can you build muscle with plant protein? Answer is a confident yes. And if you know how to plan your meals properly, remember, you do not have to eat purely plant-based foods. You can combine plant and animal proteins strategically in what I called a plant-forward diet. In the next video, part 2, we'll look at plant versus animal protein from a health and longevity perspective. We'll explore what these foods offer beyond just muscle building, and I'll also share specific strategies for vegans to easily meet their protein needs without compromise. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Akash. If this video resonated with you, consider subscribing and share it with someone who might benefit. And as always, I'm here to empower your journey, whether you are building muscle, improving your health, or simply trying to eat more mindfully.